What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is a preview. It feels like an age since I've done a preview. The last time I did a preview was probably with Ola and Will for the United game. It's been a while since I've done one. But anyway, doing a preview for Arsenal versus Wolves. This won't take long. This is just going to give a few thoughts about the game. And I do realise it has been a while since I put something out there on the channel. Sorry for my inconsistency at the moment. You guys know, just trying to nurse myself through a few health issues at the moment. So until I'm 100%, I'm not trying to stress myself out too much. With that, sometimes I'm going to be a little bit more inconsistent than I normally am. So I apologize for that now. But bear with me. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. Going back to the GP next week just to see if I'm making the progress I think I'm making. And then we'll go from there. But anyway, in the meantime, this is the Arsenal versus Wolves preview. Please do stick a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's see if we can dissect this game. Obviously, Arsenal play Wolves. At this moment, I'm not going to try and kid you guys and talk about the fact that Arsenal versus Wolves is a key game. We're in a space. We are in the business end of the season. We're about, 3 weeks away from Christmas, where every single game we play is of high importance. In fact, this is the part of the season where I just hope Arsenal, I'm not even really looking at the fixture list. They've just got their head down and they're just working. You know, I'm enjoying some of the training clips that I'm seeing from them recently. I saw one today where Martinelli looks real sharp, really sharp. Looks nice and ready, and I would expect him probably the next couple of European games to make some kind of appearance. He looks ready. He looks ready. He looks back up to match speed. I know that Pablo Mari had his first 45 minutes. I suppose technically in an Arsenal shirt. No, I think he's played for the under-23s before. But yeah, he played for the under-23s on Friday night. The under-23s, of course, won 3-1. And he partnered Saliba. And from my understanding, they made a really good partnership. They had a very good understanding. So that was good to see. That was good to hear. Chambers as well apparently is up to speed. He played a little bit of that game as well. So I think people are starting to come back in certain positions. And, you know, at the end of the day, listen, for all of my skepticism about Mikel Arteta, and it will remain, because I've not seen anything that should tell me it shouldn't remain. But for all of my skepticism about Mikel Arteta, first and foremost, I just want Arsenal to win a game. You know, I want us to win a game, it feel like a win, and go into that game with confidence. You know, I think the thing with the Mulder game is it was weird watching that game, because although I was not feeling fantastic during that game, I kept thinking to myself, it didn't feel like a 3-0 win. It just felt like us going through the motions, scoring a couple of goals, and then eventually we won 3-0. It'd be nice to go into an Arsenal game, perform well, and actually win well. I don't see that happening against Wolves. I think Wolves are a team where ironically, I think they play the way Mikel Arteta would love us to play. They play in a very functional manner. I don't see that being a bad thing. Everybody knows their jobs. They grind down teams where they possibly can. And then they hit on a break if it's possible. But generally, everybody has a role in the team, and they all, they all play towards that role. So yeah, I think that is the way to play against Arsenal, ironically. I think for the Arsenal, you need to stop them from being free-flowing. And that's why, ironically, I don't think Mikel Arteta is the manager for us, because we almost need to be taken off the leash. I would love Arsenal to play in such a way where Mikel Arteta says, all right, fuck this. We're going to blow this team away. and just let us off the leash, because it was interesting watching that training program, right? You know, Lacazette's always a very good trainer. I can see why he starts games. You know, whenever you watch him train, the guy always finishes his chances when he trains. He always looks like he works hard, particularly when they do those one-on-one training sessions, right? So I can see why more often than not, the manager's tempted to start him if we are basing this purely on training sessions. You know, and I was looking at Martinelli, and he just looks so. All of it just looks so effortless. And you know, they've obviously started including Balogun as part of the strike force now, and you know, he kind of finished maybe about a little less than half of the chances that he had during the training sessions. But for me, what was impressive about what Balogun was doing was everything else was effortless. And even the ones that were saved, they required good saves for them. Anyone who's wondering what I'm talking about, just go and watch the training sessions that dropped from Arsenal earlier. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that kid is going to be something. I'm determined. I hope it's for Arsenal. But I think he's going to be something. And just thinking about the idea of Balogun and Martinelli playing up top together kind of made me think, okay, all right. With Saka hanging around somewhere around her, kind of made me think, okay, this could be something. Gosh, I'm sounding like Zach now. But I do have a lot of hope for the future when you look at that. Then you remember who our manager is and you think, ugh, because he doesn't like playing youth. And this is what I mean by, will the manager learn his mistakes? Because for me, you know, the thing that probably was really good about the Molders game was the fact that, for me, I'm actually going to give Arteta some credit. And it was said on our podcasts, and actually I agree with you. I think it's something that should be reiterated. I think Arteta played the Pepe thing perfectly. I think he absolutely played it perfectly. The only thing I wouldn't have done is necessarily shit on him the way he did after the game, because then it gave license to idiots and racists to shit on him. Once you do that as manager, you've got to sometimes think about the kind of after effects it has on that player. And our fans are dumb, so they'll go with whatever they go with. You know, some people were actually saying, "Oh, we should sell him because he got sent off." Yeah, all right, mate. What are we talking about here? We should sell our second most dangerous player. Okay, that makes sense. So I think from that perspective, I don't think he necessarily handled it well there. But what he did after that was he just said, listen, I'm going to stand by him. No, I'm going to stand by him. He's starting the next game because we may as well not hang him back. He's got his suspension and he may as well just jump straight into this game. So he did. And for me, Pepe was man of the match. It was between him and Nelson. But actually, why I edged it to Pepe in the end was because Pepe's intent from minute one was, I'm going to run this game. And I love that about Pepe. I love that when he gets into that frame of mind of, okay, this game's all me today. Got his goal, he's got his performance, and I hope he now kicks on from here. Sorry, there was the coughing fit I was trying to hide. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Pepe. With Nelson, I was very impressed. Very impressed. That guy decided to play in a slightly different type of position where he was almost given a free role to say, all right, unleash yourself. And they were bamboozled. They could not pick up Nelson at all. And for me, that's where Nelson plays his best football, because I feel like he's a bit of a free spirit type of player. I don't think he's a natural winger per se. I think he's more of a roaming, attacking midfielder. And I think if you give him license to do that, generally speaking, he'll play well. The only reason that he starts to decline sometimes is when you put a bit of structure in his defensive work or structure in his play. Unfortunately, I think that's where Nelson suffers because, like I say, I do think he's a bit of a free spirit in that regard. But I love Nelson's performance. It must be said, I loved his performance over the midweek. So yeah, I think we'll see what happens with Nelson. But what I'd like to know is if Mikel Arteta was paying attention during all of that. Like, did he see Nelson's performance and think to himself, okay, I should start him in this game? Now, obviously, you don't have Pepe, so you'd almost be sure that someone like Willian is going to start. But I would love us to not necessarily just go back to tried and tested. You know, I'd love for Mikel Arteta to not look at Balogun's performance and then immediately not put him into I would love him to put him on a bench. Imagine him, even if you don't bring him on against Wolves, imagine what that will do for his confidence. If you said, right, well, after that goal that you got me, within 10 minutes, I'm going to put you on the bench. The confidence that gives that kid. It makes him think, fuck, okay, I'm making progress. I'm heading the right way. Whereas if he doesn't do that, and let's face it, it's Mikel Arteta, I'm not expecting him to do that. It just looks like what it is. It looks like, oh, well, he's just playing because he's plugging some holes or players that aren't here. And that's a shame to me, you know, because I would suggest Balogun has very limited time to try and prove himself to people. You know, he's lucky in the sense that Martinelli's out. He's lucky that two of the strikers that for some unusual reason Mikel Arteta prefers are both out of form. So I think he's got very limited time to try and prove himself. That's why people are saying, oh, well, why are you getting so gassed, Chig? First of all, your boy Chig has been telling you about Balogun for time. Just like I told you about Bukayo Saka for time before he actually broke into the team. I've been telling you about Balogun for time. Second of all, any striker who recognizes that situation knows he doesn't have very limited time. So any little bit of, breaking play, opportunity to score that he can take, he'll take it. That's what good players do. And he's shown that at least once. Now it's up to him to kick on. But I'm not expecting him to get into the squad. So that's what makes life difficult. So before people start saying stupid shit like sell Pepe or do this or do that, also consider what opportunity is the manager giving those said players to improve. Because with Pepe, we've seen it, we've said it all year. The guy plays well, and then before you know it, you know, the ball, he's suddenly not starting a game. It's just like, how is anyone supposed to establish any kind of momentum in those circumstances? But it is what it is. That's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think of your opinion. In the meantime, I'm going to show you my team while I have a quick coughing fit to remove this latest bit of cough. 1 more second. In the meantime, I will show you what my team looks like. For the game against Wolves tomorrow. So there you go. 2 seconds. Bask in that glory for 1 second. Oh yeah, that was a good cough, that one. Right. So let me show you my hopeful 1 to 11. You guys know this already. This is not necessarily the 11 that I think Arteta will go with. This is the 11 that I hope that Arteta goes with. My hopeful 1 to 11. So in goal, I'm going to go with Bert Leno. Runnison was okay midweek. He was okay. He made one little dodgy choice. I'm still bracing myself for that kind of Runnison calamity goal because I feel like it's there. I feel like it's there. and I feel like it's coming soon. So I would say brace yourself the next couple of times Runnison plays, because I do feel like it's coming. But yeah, no, it's what it is. I've done enough bitching about Leno and Martinez in the past, so play Leno, not a problem. Right back, I've gone with Hector Bellerin, which might surprise some of you. I thought Ainsley Maitland-Niles was pretty good midweek, playing on that left-hand side. It's a shame for him because I just feel like, why is Cedric here? If Cedric weren't here, surely. Oh, anyway, again, this is another thing I've just decided to bitch about. And to be fair, I thought Cedric was pretty good midweek, so I also can't be bitching. But at the same time, with Pepe not in the team, and for me, I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Pepe are the two that play really well together. I don't mind it if you want to play Bellerin for Willian. Willian works pretty hard anyway, so he'll be dropping quite deep. And I've also put Willock on that side as well, just as further support for those guys. So there is method to my madness, people. So yes, I've gone with Bellerin on that right-hand side. I've gone with Rob Holding and Gabriel. Gabriel, I think, kind of explains itself. Rob Holding, not because I think Rob Holding is any good. I'm simply just trying to wait for Chambers to become fit, Mari to become fit. And I don't want to give Mustafi or David Luiz any more reason to think they're going to stay than they already do. Left back, I'm going with Kieran Tierney. Enough said. My understanding is that Partey is still out for this game. So I'm going with Mohamed El Nene as the defensive midfielder. With a reminder from Mikel Arteta that he needs to play 100%, because apparently he needs to be told that. And then I tried to go with a bit of a dynamic midfield. So I've gone with spinning top Dani Ceballos, just as someone who I think could sit next to an El Nene, try to distribute, even if it's from deep. I think we're going to need to match Wolves' midfield. I don't think Wolves' midfield is as dynamic as, say, Villa's, but they do have a strong midfield. So I think we need to match it as best as we possibly can. And I think by doing it this way, rather than putting a Granit Xhaka in the team and Granit Xhaka constantly gets pickpocketed, I'd rather do it this way. So I'm going to go with Dani Ceballos on the left-hand side of this. Right-hand side, I've gone with Joe Willock. Again, just for pure energy, nothing else. The boy can run, and that's the main reason I have him in the team. Top three, as you guys saw earlier. 1 second. Sorry about that. Top three is Reiss Nelson on that left-hand side. Again, going with that kind of free spirit. Do what you got to do, bruh. Don't put too much structure or instructions in place for him. Just let him roam and do what he's doing and be a bit of a free spirit. So I've gone with him on that left-hand side. I've also gone with him because my understanding is that Saka is still injured. Obviously, if Saka is not injured, then I'd put Saka in place. Again, just to clarify this. On the right-hand side, I've gone with Willian. I don't hate Willian, I think people seem to think that, Chig, I bet you hate Willian like Mkhitaryan. No, the Mkhitaryan one always disappointed me more because I know Mkhitaryan had it. Like, I know he has had a lot of talent, particularly coming over to United. The Willian thing is just an age thing, to be honest. I always thought he'd be a good player, but I didn't want him to come to Arsenal. I always thought he'd be a good player for someone like Everton or, someone like that, like a West Ham. It's disappointing that he's come to Arsenal in a way because, considering he's the Mikel Arteta signing, and he's the one that supposedly Mikel Arteta wants Pepe to be more like, He's not produced a damn thing. So it's so Arsenal. Why don't you be more like Willian? But Willian hasn't scored anything, sir. So, eh? So Willian on that right hand side. Listen, I'm not naive. I get it. Willian, he tracks the ball back. He plays percentages. That's what this manager likes. He likes players that play the percentages, play the passes, and are not necessarily the mavericks of the team. Pepe is a maverick, pure and simple. He's a guy that will come into the team, attempt to take on 4 or 5 players, and try and get a result out of it, even if that means losing the ball time and time again. Willian is more of that guy that will try and find like a final pass, if he possibly can, before attempting to score. Even him, watching him during training, actually quite like that during training as well. Like, there were a couple of times where you would have thought, oh, he's going to try and take on the keeper. He tried to find a final pass. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's just your nature. So I can't knock him for his nature. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm disappointed in Willian. You know, he's 32 years old. He's had an illustrious career. And, you know, again, much like the Mikel Arteta thing, who's going to blame him at 32 years old for choosing Arsenal over what? MLS and maybe some Saudi team, maybe? That might have been his only ever got a couple of options. So I don't blame him. I have no real hatred towards him. But for me, this is another example of an Arteta dodgy decision. So this is what tomorrow's game is going to be about for me. It's going to be about redemption. It's going to be about, has Mikel Arteta learned anything? Forget all my previous comments for now about Mikel Arteta and whether I have faith in him. Because let's face it, come 7:15 and me and Lee are preparing to do this watch along, I'll be back in the team same way. But for now, I pose one simple question. Has Mikel Arteta learnt his lesson? I'm going to vote for no. But I also don't think we'll lose the game. So I'm going to go for 1-1 as my prediction for this game. You guys let me know what your prediction is. Weirdly, this show's gone on a lot longer than I thought I was going to be able to go on for. So that's good. But I hope you guys are all well. Big up for the messages, man. It's been, I know my inconsistency on here is quite rare. I wanted to do membership streams for a couple of nights now, but just not been up to it. I'm hoping they'll be able to do it over the next couple of days. Obviously, the game's on tomorrow, so I won't be able to do it tomorrow. But over the next couple of days, me and my members need to kick it. We need to talk about this Mikel Arteta situation and just in other bits and bobs. So I'm aiming to do a membership preview for the game on midweek, but I'll see how I feel over the next couple of days. But thank you for all your messages. Please do stick a like on this video. I'll tell you what will help me, what will really cheer me up. If by some miracle during this time that I've been ill, I hit 10K. I am 75 people away. I know I would have hit 10K ages ago had I just been doing shows as normal. I know I have, but if you can help me get 10K in the meantime, that would be a fantastic surprise. All right, I'm out of here. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Me and Lee will be back on here, as usual, doing a player ratings and preview. So I will see you guys then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Peace.